Here. Rich Griswold.
Here.
Bill Decker. Absent. Darren Grant.
Present.
Got a quorum?
We are ready to go. Okay, let's start off with our minutes from last month's meeting. I did not get these sent out to everybody, so if you can take a look at them. We have a new way, you have a new way of keeping minutes now. You put it on the system now, don't you? So I will do better. I had a bunch of stuff going on and
So
didn't
can
get
we see
things.
those anytime? Then once they're in there, Al, or do we still have to wait to have access to them?
I don't know.
I don't understand how it works.
All right, well,
I'll find
They
out.
want me to take minutes today
sure.
and post them, but they haven't been approved for next month.
Well, sure, but that way everybody can see them. That
Oh,
makes
well.
sense.
So we should, I would think we'd be able to see them online. I'll double check on that. So, are there any questions on last month's meeting from anybody? If not, I would ask for a motion to approve.
I'll make a motion to approve.
I'll second it.
Thank you. We got a first from Dare, second from Paul. All in favor, please say aye.
Aye.
All opposed? All right. Okay, we have our claims for this month, and Terry, you want to tell us, we have a new program now, the way we're processing and all that. I'm going to let Terry explain it all, because I just do what she tells me to do.
That's very smart, Rich. Okay, here's basically what we're doing. Unfortunately, my computer went down, so your docket is not exactly 100% like it will be next time, and hopefully I won't have any computer issues. Basically, we've got a signature page. It'll have your date, how many pages of invoices that you are to approve. Then you'll sign at the top here, the rest of you will sign. Now, I'm hoping at one point to have your names here, and then that way, if someone's missing, of course, they're not going to sign it, anyone that's present will. Now, the second page of your docket basically is listing everything that with your approval, by signing the front of our docket, that means I can pay these bills. On this one, you can't tell, but on the one that I can, once my computer is fixed, it will basically have a line where it says check, and you'll notice there are no check numbers, because I have not written those checks until I approve them, and then I go. The other thing I want to talk to you about, do you have a copy of this, Rich? Okay, I'm going to give you mine because I want you guys to go ahead and sign it for today. Okay.
Now, will you be able to get that docket to us ahead of, so we'll have it in our packet?
I thought I
Or?
already sent it to you. I did.
Okay, I haven't seen, I didn't see it, so.
Okay. I usually send them like on your Monday before your meeting on Wednesday.
Okay,
I can send it to the list that I normally send it to, or if you need me to send it to anybody else, or to each person, if you can give me their emails, I can send it to everyone.
I always forward everything on to Mac, because he puts our packet together for us, so I just want to make sure I've got it in our packet, so I'll keep an eye out for it.
Okay. Unless, like I said, I know that I sent it, but my computer was kind of messed up, so maybe it somehow did not get out to you.
No big deal.
Okay, I'm gonna give you this one, and then that way you can go ahead and use this one for your signatures down here, once you've approved your claims for
So
today.
this will be for,
Terry, when checks go back in New York, how does that impact both sides?
Those will not be on my docket because I don't handle those. Those usually come through and those will go to Ben. I'm not sure those will be on my docket, but I will ask.
Yeah, because that's part of their responsibility.
As long as we're using TIF, the way this goes, anything that's paid through TIF will be on there.
So the TIF stuff will be there, but the bond stuff will not be.
Possibly no.
okay, so
I will ask.
this month, the $38,836.25, it looks like it's all has pretty much to do with the levy.
Yes.
And do we know, is that supposed to come out of the bond rather than the TIF funds?
Gary?
Are, will, Are levy projects still being paid out of the big bond instead of TIF funds, Gary?
Yeah, we're still paying levy projects out of the bond because we had a $2 million match there. The rest of them, I believe, are all closed.
Okay. So this should say bond for all 5 of these levy projects, is that correct?
Yes.
Okay, when they came through, I was not told that, so.
Because what Ben's trying to do is we had a $2 million match and we're not to that yet. So he's trying to pay as many things. So it looks like he's accumulated a few to try to put it at one time. But I don't know that for a fact.
I will ask when I go back and I will email you and let you know whether or not those are gonna come to TIF or the bond.
Terry and I just went through an email that came through last night from Danny with 6 open invoices on it.
Okay. Thank you.
Yeah, I have paid, 4 are on the docket to be paid. There was 2 that I was missing. But I will go back and ask Ben whether or not those are supposed to have the levy bond or TIF. And before I do anything, I will email you, Rich, and
Then I
let you
can
know.
So this one here, you need all of us, all our signatures here?
Yes.
Okay.
Now, the other thing that I have is last month on your claim summary. Okay. Here's basically what happened. There was a sound levy project that was listed on here that, okay, now I'm just a tad bit confused, but I'll take me a second. Okay. That project there was, not supposed to be in there because the South Levy bin always pays that fee on his end, so that shouldn't have been on there. The other one, there was 2 on here for for Amazon, it was for the theater, and they were both listed as the same. One should have been listed for $3,015.78. Instead, they both were listed as the same price. So that was incorrect. The other one was the levy project management, the $15,490.10 was also broke down underneath it. So according to the adding of this, the 15,000 and the 15,000, because like right here it says 15,000, but all these underneath added up to 15,000.
Okay.
So it's actually in there twice.
Yeah.
So here's what it was. It went from $853,946.12, which is what you guys agreed on, to actually it was only $724,611.98 because of removal. So here's what I need for you guys to do. I'm going to pass this around so you guys can look at it. I just need for you guys to initial that you've seen this because I changed on here, and that was just because of duplication.
Do we need a motion to approve those changes too, Joe? Just, like, it's less, so I don't think it's a big deal, but maybe.
I think probably just a motion to amend the previous approval of expenditures based upon
Yeah.
essentially math errors.
Tammy, can you tell me that first number, the 800,000 number
It
again?
would be easier if I just pass this around. This is the one that you actually approved.
Thank you.
I have everything circled that should have been changed.
This is the number we approved, and the number should be 724,611. Okay.
Yes, after I made the corrections.
Thank
So
you.
this is the corrected one, if you guys want to make copies of it, and then this is the one that you guys approved.
Okay.
So I need, if you're going to amend it, I probably will be okay, because it'll be in your minutes. So I can just have a copy of that to put with the claim summary.
And we'll just do both, just Johnson, this full initial.
Okay.
It's both that way. Okay,
Once you got it marked up, I will make a couple copies of it.
let's start with this month's claims. Let's have a motion to approve this month's claims of the total amount of $38,836.25. which is majority of the levy. So, could I have a motion to approve on that?
I'll make a motion to approve the claims in the total of $49,013.08.
And so there's approval, I got a second?
I'll second.
Thanks, Paul. All in favor, please say aye.
Aye.
All opposed? Now, let's do a motion for last month's claims to do the correction to lower the figure from, you got that there?
Yeah, I'll make a motion that we approve the amendment of claims from the previous month of $853,946.12 to a new corrected total of $724,611.98.
All right, thank you, Derek. And could I have a second?
I'll second.
Paul? All in favor, please say aye.
Aye.
Aye. All opposed? All right, we've got the claims taken care of, so I've got this month's going around to get all signatures, and then we'll initial the other one also. So that
And then I will ask about those claims as to whether or not they are going to come through the levy, or I'm going to take them to tip. I will email you to make sure that you're aware of where those three go.
That way I can
And
forward it
then
out.
you can let me know,
Sounds great.
so, does anybody have any questions?
Any questions for Terry? Initial list? All right, Terry, I'll just give you both of those right now so we don't forget.
Okay, perfect.
That way you're all set, and if you think anything else needs to be on there, just let us know.
Okay. Do you need a copy of this?
Do you want to send us one?
Yeah, just send it to us whenever you
Email us
send
a
it.
copy of
Just
it.
email it.
Yes. I'll write myself a note. Okay, any other questions? Not for you, long.
No,
So next month, we should be rolling right on that, like,
Yes,
the
and
new wage.
and like I said, next month, your docket's going to look a little bit different, because this time I had to actually do it from the appropriation side rather than the side that normally gives me the docket information. And it will basically, there's going to be a column there that says checks. Unless something out of this crazy world, which I can't see, there will be no check numbers, which means once you sign this and I get this back, that's when I will produce the checks and they'll know.
Sounds good.
Okay.
Any other questions?
Nope.
All right,
All right,
thank you
you
very
guys
much.
have a great day.
You're always welcome here.
Oh, thank you.
Okay, moving on, you all have a copy of the funding report. And as you can see, there's not much money there. I will bring up, right now, I'm gonna read something. I just got this from Ben and the mayor. We had our closing, and I'm gonna bring it up now because we're on this funding report here. We closed on the theater, let's see, what was it, last Friday? Week ago, this past Friday, we closed on it. We closed early. We weren't supposed to close on this till December. And everything came together quickly to get it closed, and decided that probably need to get it done, that way they can have small soft openings, make sure everything was going good and all that. The problem is, we don't get our tax draw until December, so we didn't have enough money to cover it. So I have a letter here that's been put together, I'm gonna read, and then we're gonna have to take a motion. The RDC had to do a short-term loan. Let me just read this to you. As you may know, the closing on the theater came up quicker than expected, and to complete the transaction, we had to borrow some money from the wastewater and stormwater funds. When we receive the next draw from the state in December, we will repay this short-term loan to those funds. This came from Ben. He had to move some money around in order to get things purchased and all that. So, Mayor, do you have any idea what the dollar amount was? It's not on here.
It was a little over $1 million, like 500,000 from the wastewater, and like 554 from the stormwater.
Okay. So that, I guess, it basically is some bookkeeping moving around in order to make sure that we could write the check to pay for everything over there. So when the tax money comes in December, this will be all settled up and we will be done. So it's basically just paying everything ahead before our money came in, so we're not broke. So,
And-
with,
And I'd say, I'm going from memory, but I think the tax draw we're getting in December is like 1.4.
okay. We'll have a little money left over then. So, with that, they had to move quickly. We still need to do a motion to approve the short-term loan so that everything is all, can I, as president, can I make a motion or do I have to?
No, that has to come from
That's
somebody
good,
else.
okay.
I'll
So,
motion to approve it.
thank you, Paul. We have a motion from Paul, and could I have a second?
I'll second.
Okay,
Just
together.
probably need to be clear exactly what the motion is.
Okay.
So,
The motion is to do a short-term loan from the wastewater and stormwater funds to pay for the closing of the theater, and then it will be paid in full when our tax deposit comes in December. So I have Paul motioned, Al second. All in favor, please say aye.
Aye.
And all opposed? All right, that is all taken care of. Let's see, let's move on to the attorney report. Joe, do you have anything going on?
no, there was a lot of back and forth, making sure we had all the title work squared away for the theater. We got all that taken care of, we've been kind of holding off on transferring some of the other properties to the city, so I've been talking to Dale, and hopefully we can get everything now all on a city council docket soon to formally quit claim all the property that we have acquired this year formally to the city, so I think Dale was wanting us to, since the theater was so close, to wait to see if we could just get it all, so that way we could finally do the parking lots and the properties over on Southview and now the theater, that we can essentially quit claim from the RDC to the city.
All right. Anything else before we move on?
That's it from my end.
Okay. Gary, you want to give us a engineer report and go over the bond recap?
All right, since you're on the topic of the theater, I'll start right there. We've had 2 soft openings there, and then Craig Fenneman had an event of his own 2 weeks ago, Thursday. Have a soft opening in order to practice, to make sure things work, and it went well. We have another one coming up on October the 23rd. You're all welcome to be at, so that's how it goes. Bob Strader and I are constructing a punch list of things that still need done, need finished over there, so I've taken photos of all mine and given him the list yesterday, so that will have to be done through the contractor, Rick Campbell, and keep Craig as aware of how that's going, because Rick Campbell was technically working for Craig during all that time, so that's where we are with the theater. Looks good. Anytime you can have an interest in being in or showing somebody, let me know, and we'll get you in to do it, because there's nobody there operationally during the day, so that's where we stand with it.
Gary, question on that then, so for the punch list, since we've purchased it now, are we paying for all the final costs, or how is that being funded?
It should not be. I wasn't in that negotiation for the closing, so I don't know what even the final dollar was on the whole thing, but yeah, this should be contractor's responsibility. We're within a guarantee period, so he may have a 1-year guarantee for that for us. I can't say that any of them were significantly major problems. Yeah, we had some things that were ours still to do. We just got that fixed last week, and that's to be able to raise the screen up and down from back in the control booth. Brad Ferguson's been on and off in there every day for the past 2 weeks, getting the sound and lighting systems up and going, so those are all going well too. So that's where they stand with that. Levy situation, we do a final test
on the north levee this Friday at 10 o'clock. And we'll run each of the pumps, each of the generators, and do a final test and everything. So at that point, we'd be ready to close with the north levee, which is an NDOT project, and we're in good shape dollar-wise there. South levee, we've got one big thing left to do. At the pump station, we straddle Nutter Ditch, one of the three major ditches in town, in fact, the most major. And we're collecting too much trash. We have a screening system there that hangs down, and it's catching everything, and it's a matter of having to go down there way too often to clean that rack off. So we're cutting off the bottom of the rack, and the rack's really only going to be effective when we have flood stage type conditions. We don't want to keep cleaning the ditch. When the corn stalks come through, they're welcome to go on through to the river, because that's what's always been the process, what's going to happen with that. So that's the major thing we have yet to do down there, and it will be finished. We've got all the gates up, all the fencing up, so those items are all completed, and we're in good dollar shape there as well. I met yesterday with a developer about our properties down at the Ohio Street interchange at I-69. Somebody interested in doing a hotel there. Wouldn't that be wonderful? I have a 9 o'clock meeting right after this one today with a developer about working down there as well. So at your instruction a month or two ago, I elicited a traffic study to be done. The quote I got from that just last night was $37,500. That's half again more than I would have expected, and it's because they say in order to satisfy NDOT on that change, we'll have to do from the interstate up through Poston Road. Any traffic control there, we have to have deceleration lanes. It's not just simply, as far as NDOT is concerned, a matter of changing a stoplight to a three-way to a four-way. It's a bigger deal with them. So I've just explained to you, I've got activity down there, so it becomes, and their traffic study includes the Dunkin' Donuts, the Jimmy John's, and the Chicago Pizza, everything we know that's new, and the gas station that moves up the street. So they're aware of all those things in their study. So that's where we stand with it, and we've had mayor's directions to hold off till we had all those things, so it's up to all of you where you can choose to do it now or hold this off. But I would encourage you, the activity that I'm hearing about down there, if you hold off on a traffic study, you can't get anything done until NDOT approves something. And Lord knows how long that'll take after the traffic study done, which probably takes 2 months, takes you to the end of the year anyway, how long it might take NDOT to do that. So that's where we stand with that project. All the rest of your lawn projects are completed as far as we know. Any questions?
How long is a traffic study good for? If we do it now, how does it last for a year before we would have to redo it for any projects? You know, what's, because if...
Only if you have major development that occurred within that site at that time, you'd have to do it again. I see, when I protested almost 6 years ago, what was going to happen down at the Ohio Street interchange as Southview Drive came along, and we intersected what was called Martinsville at that time on Ohio Street. I had traffic studies that we requested from NDOT that were good for 10 years. So it would just be purely a matter of if there was another major change in that area. If Kroger's disappeared from down there, that would be, I'd consider a major change for traffic flow.
How do they do a traffic flow? Do they just estimate what those restaurants will probably do, or estimate what the gas station would do? Because that gas station doesn't get a lot of traffic right now the way it is, because it's a pain to get into.
Right.
When it moves, I think they're going to see their traffic double.
They'll physically be on site doing some monitoring, get some records there, but there's a whole chart that says grocery stores get so many people a day, drugstores get so many people a day, yeah.
Okay.
So I think that brings you up on what I've got.
All right, any questions on anything for Gary, anybody?
There have been some discussion, I think it was by Phil last month, maybe the month before, about developers coming into that area and maybe seeing if they would share some of the cost of a traffic study. Do you have people that you know that are potentially gonna come in here waiting for that, and is that a possibility to save some city money? Or are you recommending that we pay for the traffic study in full because of the possible increase that will bring, or that will enhance someone coming in and building faster?
In prior discussions with other developers, we had said that the city would supply the traffic study and light change, and the half a dozen lots that we own in there that we acquired from the state. That would be, because they'd come to us before and said, well, we need $2 million contribution out of the city. And we go, well, I don't have $2 million, you're not gonna get it, so.
All right, so previous discussions had included paying for the traffic study.
I guess what I'd be curious to see is the exact number. My concern is, right now, funds are pretty tight with, we've got the money to pay out of December. We'll have our normal bond money that we pay out of that, so I don't mind considering it. I just would, I guess, I'd like to see Ben make sure we have kind of a, we probably need to be like thinking more about a budget for 6 months, because essentially any money that we get in December is the only money we have for 6 months.
Right.
To make sure that we can afford to pay it in full, or if we want to try to get a developer to pay a part of the cost with us.
Okay, that's something we'll think about and go from there then.
Or if the city would have any
Yeah, we want to jump
money
in.
to add into that.
Okay. All right, any other questions for Gary? All right, Terry?
Thank you.
Terry's here, talking about, remember we had some environmental audits that were going, and Terry's gonna bring us up to date on everything from there.
Yeah, I just wanted to report on the EPA Brownfield Assessment Grant. So in early August or so, it looked like you were going to have some funds left over when the grant was set to expire on September 30th. So we, working with MAC, applied for an extension on the grant. So we have a 1-year extension on the grant. You guys have about $70,000 left to pay for the phase 1, phase 2 on any brownfield site. Gary and MAC together have given me 2 or 3 sites around the area. One up out on Park, one up on Rose, one down on South Main, and I've been in touch with either the realtor or the owner as best I can, or one of them, to see if there's any interest in letting us help them move the project forward. So most recently we did the phase 1, and on the 20 bills and 30 bills, so the former Pizza Hut and what was it, Tres Caminos?
What's going on
Yeah.
there?
No,
There's a Mexican restaurant.
yeah. Yeah, so we did the phase 1 on those for the owner there. And then when I think we finished up the asbestos look on the Southview property that you guys had. So right now we're just holding it, about $70-some thousand left in the account. We have 12 months on that, so that'll go through September of next year.
So it'll be September of 2026.
Yes, sir.
Right?
One on Park is the Croton Lumber property, it's all inside now.
So,
I don't know if you want me to mention names or not, so I don't.
Are they moving or closing down?
Yes, his health is really bad.
so now, the 3 properties that you're trying to get a hold of people, will that come out of this 70,000, or is that 70,000 after that?
It's 70,000 right now.
Right now, okay.
So if
Okay.
one of those 2 properties, either on Rose or Park, were to come through and need a phase 2, that would take a lot of it.
Right,
That would
okay,
take a big chunk of it based on the size of those properties and the past use of it, I'm sure, so.
okay. So we kind of want to,
So most likely we'll be able to use it all.
Yes, I would think so.
yeah,
We're not gonna be leaving money on the table.
I don't think so. We have a year, yeah. And even if we go into a large phase 2 and spend a big chunk of it, we can still do phase 1s, which are around 4,000 a piece, so we could do several phase 1s. That's what we do on most of our grants. When we get it down under 20,000 or so, then we don't have enough any longer for a phase 2, which is the exploratory stuff, subterranean. So the last 20,000 or so, we usually do 4 or 5 phase 1s, 4 or 5, 6 phase 1s, depending on the work, so to get it spent down.
so
The city has an intention of acquiring the piece to the north of the transfer station, so
Yeah.
that's what Terry's
Okay.
talking about. So before we acquire, we should know it's going
yeah,
to be.
probably better
Yep.
check everything out. Okay, great, so you'll keep us up to date then
Absolutely.
on those, and hopefully we'll come up with some others and be able to use this whole grant up then.
Yep.
Great. Any questions for Terry? All right, thanks,
Okay.
thank you.
Yeah.
All right, that is pretty much all I have, unless anybody's got anything to bring up or anything that you know that's going on. We've been over at the theater 3 different times now, for all different types of, had the movie, had the jazz band there, and then, Mr. Finneman had, a couple of their songwriters there. I think I've seen everybody there at one time or another on all of them, so I'm gonna add, I thought everything sounded pretty good. What all of you all think how everything went?
It's fantastic.
Yeah.
Amazing.
I'm just amazed. My vision was not even close to what the place looks like. It's beautiful.
It's a Wombay's on the 23rd. If Wombay's means anything in you, that's what it is.
Yeah, no, I, nothing but high praise from me. I've enjoyed both visits.
The concert on October 23rd with the Wallabies, I do have tickets for you all if you'd like. They encourage you to attend. So I have tickets here. I'll give you guys here after we get done. So, anything else we need to bring before we adjourn? Okay, nothing else. I'm gonna say this meeting is adjourned then. Thanks for everybody coming.